If you want to see amazing and exciting duels, informative and entertaining top 10 lists, and everything else that's just great about the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, you gotta watch the Capital G Show. Shout outs to my homeboy Dante. Hey. What's up YouTube, Capital G here. So we're talking Ultra Reality Games and their mind-boggling decision to suspend indefinitely their Yu-Gi-Oh featured articles from their website. And I don't quite understand it, even though I've read this explanation about twice. So this was posted on Facebook a few days ago by Jim, who basically runs ARG, and you might actually remember him. Over the last week, he's kind of had a couple of like random tirades on Facebook. If you didn't catch the last one, it was highly entertaining. It was very Dan Gilbert-esque, where he dropped a couple of F-bombs at the Yu-Gi-Oh community and was telling people to fuck off if they didn't, believe in the ARG format, that it was a real thing. Well, this is another kind of crazy, kooky decision that he's made, and he's essentially suspending the ARG featured articles. And if you don't know what they were kind of ARG's answer to the Konami blog articles that they post. I like them a lot more than the articles that Konami wrote, because they seem like they were written for an intermediate to advanced player. Sometimes when I read the Konami articles, I kind of feel like I'm being talked to like a child, or that they're written for just straight up beginners or something like that. Sometimes they have some cool combos and interactions, but for the most part, everything is really obvious per se. Now, with the ARG articles, these were written by players who used to be formerly sponsored by ARG, but then when they started their circuit series, they just said, all right, we're not going to sponsor you guys anymore. We'll just go ahead and start paying you guys to write these articles. And these are players like Fraser Smith and Patrick Hoban. I'm not trying to name drop or anything like that. They're in the article or in his post that he wrote. Players who, if nothing else, are just really good at the game of Yu-Gi-Oh and take the craft very seriously. They've won, YCSs and top nationals. I think even didn't Hoban even win a nationals? You guys know. Anyways, so these were very well written articles, and they talked about mainly just the competitive game, why certain cards are good, why trends are happening. They explain trends. They talk about why certain decks can win at certain times, and they did a really good job. The writing was really tight, and it was really enjoyable. And essentially, he's saying that he's ending it because of backlash from the Yu-Gi-Oh community revolving around people saying that there is an integrity issue, which quite frankly I don't even understand. Like, I don't understand why there would be an integrity issue even if you are like sponsoring these players. I mean, part of their sponsorship could just be that you have to write articles. It's like part of the agreement. So I don't really understand why it's such a big deal that he would actually just say, screw it, we just won't do the articles anymore. And like, furthermore, the most obvious thing that I thought about this is, if you take those articles off of ARG's website, which ARG is a company, to me, it seems like in the last month that they're trying to be a serious contender or a competitor to Konami, but you're removing content from your website. Like, those two things just don't add up. Why would you, if you're trying to expand your company, why would you remove assets from the company? But anyways, if they're removing these articles from the website, what else is there? Like, why would the average player even visit it? I mean, sure, you can say that ARG is a major, vendor, and they buy and sell cards, and players can do that, but I mean, can't every single person watching this video think of like 3 other sites that do the same exact thing and offer comparable rates, like Troll and Toad, etc., eBay, you know what I mean, TCG Player? Like, they do basically the same exact thing. And if you're going to the site to try and figure out, like when the next ARG is, or if there's any ARG events in your local area, then you're only going to be on the site for like more than 90 seconds. I guess what I'm asking is, if you're really trying to build your brand and you're trying to make, obviously, your website very attractive for players, beginners, and even intermediates and experts, why would you remove content from the site? Like, why would you remove the one thing that actually gravitates players to your site and holds their attention for, like multiple minutes? Or I can't say multiple minutes, but more than a couple of minutes at a time. You know what I mean? It just doesn't really seem like this is a smart decision. Now, it doesn't say when the articles are going to come back. Jim just says that he's going to revisit the decision, but I'm just not understanding why he even made the decision in the first place. And actually, he even compares other stores like Star City Games, which they're very big in the Magic the Gathering, and they do essentially the same thing that ARG was doing, where they they have players write articles and then they just pay them, but there doesn't seem to be any conflict of interest or any backlash there. So I don't understand the big deal here. So let me know what you guys think. Even though some of the articles, especially some of Hoban's articles, they may receive a little backlash. Sometimes his articles kind of have a little bit of a vibe of higher than thou, like I'm so much better than you guys, and if you don't believe my opinion, you're dumb. And some of Rosty's articles, like they don't need to bring Rosty back because some of his articles weren't that good. In general, I thought that they were really entertaining. I mean, they were kind of like a written version of like YouTubing. Like if you look at YouTubers who do like competitive meta discussions like me, MCO40, Design Enigma, they were essentially like that, just in written form. So I don't understand why they would remove them from the site. That wouldn't even be something that I would even consider, considering it is by far the best thing on the website. So anyways, I've been rambling too long. Thank you guys for watching as always.
Subscribing makes life happy.